Hi, today's devotional is on the topic of worship, and more specifically personal worship, and we're going to dig into the question of is worship something that I'm supposed to do by myself or with my family, or is it something that can only be done on Sunday morning? So we're going to take a look at Psalm 92, verses 1 through 4. It says this: "It is good to give thanks to the Lord, to sing praises to your name, O Most High, to declare your steadfast love in the morning and your faithfulness by night, to the music of the lute and harp, to the melody of the lyre. For you, O Lord, have made me glad by your work. At the works of your hands I will sing for joy." So the psalmist here is singing praises, saying, "I will sing praises to you, Lord, for what you've done." As I was reading this in my own devotionals, it kind of hit me that I don't usually sing praises to God myself personally. I usually do it corporately on Sunday mornings or at other worship services. I don't listen to the radio much in the car. I listen to podcasts or audiobooks, and so it's rare that I'm singing praises to God on my own. And it just kind of hit me that that probably isn't the best way to approach worship, since worship is such a personal thing, and worship is something that connects me to God in a very tangible way, and yet it glorifies Him when we sing praises to Him because of His mighty works, because of His salvation, because of His creation, because of the things that He's given us that we might take advantage of, or we take for granted every day, that we just ignore sometimes, and yet He's given us all these things that we're to worship Him for. And so I remember thinking about that, and then I kind of was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, "Well, why don't we do it now as a family?" So I just found a YouTube video that had some worship on it, and my boys are too young to really participate, but they were in the room with us, and my wife and I just sang a quick worship song together before I went off to work. And it was such an awesome time for my wife and I, and to have our boys there, even though they weren't singing with us, to worship ourselves, but also corporately together outside of church. And it's something that, since I'll find myself doing sometimes in my office when I need a little breather, and I'm just a little burned out after something that kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit. I'll find a worship song and listen to it on Spotify or on YouTube. My wife and I will sing in the car on long trips together, and we love doing that kind of stuff. So I would challenge you to view worship as a more personal thing, not something that is part of church that you sing with the choir or sing with the worship team, but something that you can do by yourself or with your family. And then when you come to church, the worship here just amplifies your own personal worship, as opposed to being the only time that you do worship. So I would challenge you in how you think of worship and how you view worship, and maybe view it as a more personal thing that connects you to God and glorifies Him with your life in a more personal way, rather than something that we do in church together, or something that you have to sit through, or something that you just have to listen to, but it's actually something that you can be engaged with and worship God using. So that would be my challenge for you this week and every day. Thank you. God bless.